Save Middle-earth from doom as members of the Fellowship. Work cooperatively as the Lord of the Rings heroes in Fate of the Fellowship.
And today we're diving into a quick start tutorial for Lord of the Rings Fate of the Fellowship. We'll explain everything you need to know if you want to get started quickly and pick up the details and icons as you go along in 15 minutes or less.
And hi everyone, it's Stella.
And Tarrant, welcome to Meeple University.
And hey, if you enjoyed this video after watching, like, subscribe and comments. You know what to do. Alright, now let's get to the classroom.
Lord of the Rings Fate of the Fellowship is a cooperative game which plays under the pandemic system. In Middle-earth, you as the Fellowship of the Ring must keep the forces of shadow at bay while completing 4 objectives. Complete them all, finishing with Frodo destroying the One Ring at Mount Doom to win the game. Lose all hope and the game too is lost. The main board shows Middle-earth. The thick lines divide it into 12 large regions, each containing separate small locations which are connected by paths, some white and some coloured. Your enemies, controlled by the game, are the black and red pieces, the Shadow Troops, the Nazgul, and the Eye of Sauron. The black and red locations are called Shadow Strongholds, and the red threat rate, which you want to be low, begins at 2. Pieces of all other colours are on your side, and so is Gollum. He's black, but he was a complicated figure. These are the friendly troops in 4 types, and these are the characters. The yellow bordered locations are havens, and hope, which you want to keep high, begins at 6. Take the Destroy the One Ring objective and 3 random others. Use the 3 with black stars for your first game. Follow any setup steps on the cards. Distribute any characters listed on those objectives, and random others until each player controls 2 characters. These cards show the characters' unique powers and limitations. Frodo, who travels with Sam as one character, is always in the game and has several special rules which make his game harder than anyone else's. Based on the character starting locations on their cards, and based on these various icons on the board, seed the board with pieces. Troops and characters always go in locations. Nazgul and the Eye of Sauron go in regions. You'll construct 2 decks. The Shadow deck contains all cards with these 2 backs shuffled together, and these are the main way the game will attack you. In setup, discard these 2 special cards, and then 9 more, placing a Shadow Troop on the location listed in each one. The player deck is cards with this back, and each player begins with a starting hand based on the player count. Most of these show a region and one of the 4 resources: friendship, stealth, valor, or resistance. Those same resources can also be found on collectible tokens. If an action requires you to spend a resource, either return a matching token or discard a card which depicts it. You control 2 characters, and your single hand of cards and resource tokens can be shared between them. Other player cards are events, and you can play one for its effect at any time on or outside your turn. Your hand limit is 7, and if you ever draw above, either play events immediately or discard down to 7. The remaining player deck is layered with Skies Darken cards. Like the Shadow cards, we'll see that these are a way for the game to attack you, and is how the threat rate will increase, escalating the strength of the game's attacks against you. Fate of the Fellowship is a fully cooperative game with open communication. The game plays in turns, clockwise around the table, and your turn resolves in 3 steps. First, do actions. Up to 4 actions with one of your characters, and up to 1 action with the other. Resolve one character in full, then the other, in either order. Second, draw 2 new player cards. And third, draw and resolve shadow cards equal to the current threat rate. There are 6 standard character actions: travel, fellowship, prepare, muster, attack, and capture. Some characters also have unique actions, and some objectives cost an action to complete. Each action is taken by one of your characters and occurs in that character's location. To travel, move your character along one path. This can include along a coloured path against the direction of the arrow. Those arrows are for your enemies. If the path shows a cost, then you must pay it. And if there are other characters or friendly troops in your starting location, you may bring some or all of them with you. Fellowship lets you trade cards. If you share a location with another player's character, you may give one card to, or take one card from that player, as long as it matches the region you're in. Prepare lets you convert cards to tokens. At any haven, discard one card and take the matching token. Tokens help you retain resources if you would soon need to discard some due to hand limit, but they are less flexible since they can't be traded by fellowship. Mustering lets you add friendly troops to the board. In a location with a troop icon, spend one friendship to add one of the matching troop. Capturing lets you establish havens. At a shadow stronghold with at least one friendly troop and no shadow troops, spend 3 valor to convert it to a haven. Move the Eye of Sauron to your region and gain 2 hope. This is an important way to gain hope during play. Finally, in a location with troops of both sides, you may attack. Move the Eye of Sauron to your region and then roll for battle, using up to as many battle dice as there are friendly troops present, to a maximum of 3. I'll explain how battle rolls work a little bit later. After resolving actions for both characters, draw 2 cards. Add them to your hand except for Skies Darken, in which case you increase threat 1 step, move the Eye of Sauron to Frodo's region, or lose 2 hope if it was already there, add 3 shadow troops to the location listed on the card, and shuffle the shadow card discard pile and return it to the top of the deck. The final step is to resolve shadow cards equal to the current threat rate. If you draw either of these 2 special cards, then simply resolve the text. Otherwise, resolve the card's top half if the next card has a red banner, or resolve the bottom half if the next card shows a black banner. In the case of a red banner, find the battle line depicted on the card. Here it's the brown tracks from Umbar to Helm's Deep. You can see that highlighted path here. Advance all shadow troops on that line by 1 step. For black banners, add 1 shadow troop to the depicted location, unless it's a haven, in which case you skip it. Then resolve the special order, which is an action specifically targeting Frodo. But more on how those work later. Whichever half you resolve, any time shadow troops are added to or move into a location containing friendly troops, roll for battle, rolling as many dice as there are shadow troops up to a maximum of 3. Battle rolls, whether triggered by you or the enemy, are always resolved the same. Roll the dice. Characters present may spend resistance to re-roll 1 die per resistance. Then resolve the dice. Rout removes a shadow troop. Exchange removes a troop from each side. Overrun removes a friendly troop unless the fight is in a haven. While Nazgul removes 2 friendly troops if there are any Nazgul in the region. Then characters present may remove further shadow troops by spending 1 valor per troop. Immediately after any battle roll, or any battle line movement, any haven which contains shadow troops but no friendly troops is claimed as a stronghold. Lose 3 hope for each haven lost. Be clear that battles are fought between troops which represent vast armies, not these characters who represent a single person. Characters contribute and influence by spending resources, but they cannot battle themselves if no friendly troops are present, nor can they alone defend a haven. To win, the players must complete 4 objectives. There are several different types, some require an action to complete or some are resolved immediately. All provide some sort of immediate effect, usually good when completed. Your final objective must be for Frodo to destroy the One Ring at Mount Doom. Frodo is always in the game and has the most dangerous journey of all, with the forces of Shadow targeting him specifically with special rules as they hunt the One Ring. Any time after Frodo travels, or is brought on a travel by another character, the active player must either spend a stealth or roll a search, which represents Sauron's search for Frodo. To search, roll a die for each Nazgul in Frodo's region and each shadow troop in Frodo's location to a maximum of 7. Characters present may re-roll dice by spending resistance as in battle. For each weary, lose a hope. For each exposed, lose a hope unless you're in a haven. And for each recall, return a Nazgul to Mordor. As we saw before, when skies darken, move the Eye of Sauron to Frodo, or lose 2 hope if it was already there. And Black Banner shadow cards likewise target Frodo. This one again moves the Eye to Frodo's region, or forces a search roll if it was already there. While the others move the Nazgul towards Frodo or the Eye, making search rolls more dangerous. If Frodo doesn't keep moving away from these targeted threats, or if players can't distract the Eye away from Frodo, you'll progressively lose a lot of hope through skies darkening and search rolls. Remember, you also lose hope every time you lose a haven, and you lose 1 hope every time you need to draw a player card or place a shadow troop but none remain. If hope reduces to 0, the team has lost. To win, destroy the One Ring. Complete all other objectives first, get Frodo to Mount Doom, spend 5 resistance, and do a search roll, following the normal rules, but adding an extra die for each empty space above the hope marker's position. The maximum roll is still 7. Survive that final search roll to win the game.
Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, maybe you'd like to watch this next one. Have a great day, bye!